So today, on my deck profile, I'm introducing the plant Facade. And you may be like, well, what is it? It's a combination of, well, Rikkas and Traptrix. And the Facade comes from obviously, Traptrix being, plants slash insects, but being actual killer plants and killer insects. And it's interesting. Well, let's get into the deck profile, shall we? Because no one likes to sit through a 30-minute intro. So, shall we? So, obviously, I'm running the natural Rikka ratios of 3 Snowdrop, 1 Erica, 3 Mudon, 2 Primula, and 3 Petal. Oh, sorry, I do got the sniffles, but those are the ratios, sorry. And then I'm running 1 Atrax, 3 Galona, OCG exclusive, Ginlis, butchered it, Neptis, know how to say that one, probably butchered it too, and Diona. Those are the Traptrix ratios. They're all one-ofs except for Galona, because I'll explain that she dump trap and then she come on field. She's a free extender if you have a trap, which usually Mudon can search a trap, meaning she's a free extender, usually, if you don't get negated. But that's how I'm playing her, because then you can go into Sarah and then, do some other stuff. Then running the generator combo because Mardell's a plant and you could easily get her out with, Lone Fire Blossom. But I'm running 1 Har, 1 Mardell, and 1 boss stage because you at least need the boss stage for Mardell. Then Lone Fire Blossom because it's a plant deck, okay? Who wouldn't run Lone Fire Blossom in a plant deck? But usually Lone Fire Blossom can, search out your extenders as in Petal, or search out Mardell to go into your generator combos, depending on how you want to go at your turn. Then, Dark Hole because your opponent can make some interesting fields that can, fuck you up. And I found out Dark Hole's a pretty good one. You can also run Lightning Storm. It's not in my extra deck, well, my side deck, sorry, because I kind of forgot to put it there, but you can run Lightning Storm. Is that what it's called? I think so. But you can run that. I'm running 3 Glamour because I like consistency. Consistency is cool, and I like it in my deck. Then I'm running 2 Void Trap Hole, 2 Bottomless, and 2 Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. Because these are some of the most generic trap holes you can have. They're actually pretty damn good. They're some of the most generic trap holes you can have, and well, I thought, why the hell not? And obviously, 2 Tranquility, 1 Sheet. You could run 2 Sheet, because 2 Sheet actually might improve the consistency by a slight amount. But I think running 1 Sheet's a little better, just because usually you don't have to use Sheet that often, because usually you use Teardrop to blow up their opponent monster, or tribute it. But Sheet can come in handy when your opponent says Dragoon. And if you already go in through their negate, Sheet can help with that. But that would be the main deck. 24 monsters, 7 spells, and 9 traps. Now, the extra deck. I'm wanting Run Piriton. How the hell you want to say? Because you can make him with doing Snowdrop and Mardell. And that's a free, fat monster that can negate spells too, which is pretty handy. But obviously you can only do that if you have one in the grave and all that jazz, but whatever. Next, we have 2 Teardrops, because you'll be making her the most often in the deck because he's the strongest monster in this entire deck probably. Then you also have your boy Dingirsu, in case your opponent says, put something like a tower on the field. Dingirsu will play through those, because he can say banish, and he's pretty fun. Then you also got your boy Asil, the Sylvan High Protector. In case you already went through your Teardrops and you need something a little more resolute, he can help you with that by an astounding degree. Then I got my boy High Arbiter, because he's cool. Actually, why do I have you in here again? Wait a second. I don't even think I can make High Arbiter. Oh yeah, I can. I'm stupid. I have my boy High Arbiter in here because with Strina's effect, you can make High Arbiter, and he's pretty damn good. Obviously, he's not my first of choice of making a monster, but he's here for the consistency of the deck, sometimes. But yeah, I have High Arbiter here because Strena can make High Arbiter. Then I also have Kenzashi because, well, I like protection. You don't make her too often, but the times you do, whoo, is it helpful. My god. Then I have the game ender himself, Fairy Knight Ignore. Probably one of the strongest extra deck monsters in here, probably besides Teardrop and Puritan, just because he removes all cards from field. Then you get a free 22 smack to the face. Here's a 3k wall as well, so in case you're just like, shift, then you're pretty much fine for a lot of the time. Then obviously I have my Traptrix. Ixie's in here, Amaryllis, however the hell you say that monster, is can be helpful. Usually you can end up stealing your opponent's monster, like sometimes, if you're lucky, you can steal their boss monster, and that can big fuck your opponent. But usually I don't make her, and she's in here just for that tech choice. You could replace her if you wanted to with like a Tornado Dragon or something to destroy back row. And I got two Strenas, as I said earlier. Strena, usually you could end up tributing her with Tranquility or Sheet, or really any other tribute way, to go into any Ixie that's above her. So essentially everyone. But obviously you want to, like, you know, ignore like probably Ignore because he needs 2 discards and she counts as 1. So obviously avoid the ones that need 2 discards. But then I'm running also Raphael's. How the hell you say that? It's actually really handy because if you can make her like turn 1, turn 2, you can actually end up playing your trap holes from your deck. If they meet the requirements, obviously. So if they summon like, I don't fucking know, they normal summon a fucking 1500 attack monster, then you go, bam, just blow that shit out of the water, because you have her on the field. She's pretty handy. You don't make her too often, but she is a pretty good turn 1 play if that's your only reason. Then you have, good god, Utraliska? Ria? I don't fucking know. Utra, that's what I'm calling her. Utra is handy, because Utra can help with the sustained game. As in, you can make her, sit on her, and since she's 1800, she isn't the hardest thing to beat over, but 1800's 1800. Usually you'll obviously have her with probably your Teardrop Queen. So usually you'll sit her on the field, and then hopefully be able to recur Traptrix monsters by the end phase, but sometimes you just get unlucky and then shit goes out of the way. But then Sarah, probably the biggest Traptrix card in here, because obviously, you know, the boss monster essentially. Sarah can help with, well, you know, getting out your monsters, getting out trap holes, everything a Traptrix deck would fucking need. Then All Mirage, because, well, sometimes you get screwed over, as in you summon Ash Blossom, then they say negate, then you're stuck with a Lone Fire Blossom on field. So then you make Al Mirage, because I'd rather have an Al Mirage on field than a Lone Fire Blossom. Alright, it just makes sense. Now, the side deck. So Network Trap Hole and Gravedigger's Trap Hole. These are just different things that I've seen that you could probably play. I didn't like them too much just because, like, you know, EDO Pro is just kind of the wildness it is, and you don't know what the hell you're gonna fight, so I opted out for the more easier to use. So yeah, you could use this because Network Trap Hole is kind of busted against Outledge, and, you know, Gravedigger's Trap Hole is kind of busted against decks that have to play out their hand and out their grave, so zombies. And obviously White Rose Cloister Cluster, and Rose Bell of Revelation. I have these two in here just because Rose Dragons. You could turn this into a Rose Dragon deck, but I did not want to, so I opted out to just play, you know, Traptrix instead. But you can toss White Rose Cluster in here, just because it actually helps with consistency by a small amount, just because it gives you, well, a free special summon of a plant. That's kind of busted. But I didn't want to play it because I thought, I don't want to have to run 3 more field spells and toss in a terraforming. And I thought, it's just better if I just don't run it. And then Rose Bell is, well, can only really search 1 card in here, Erica, but you could run more 2400s, such as Fallen Angel of Roses. You could toss her in here because, well, you can special summon her and bounce a plant 2 back to your hand, and since pretty much everything is special summoned, it can be somewhat helpful. So she wouldn't be a bad card to toss in here, but I opted not to because kind of fucked the consistency a little. Alright, and then Rikka Flurries. Well, what's not to say about this card? It's good, but I'm not playing it because, well, shut up, computer. I'm not playing it because, well, there's no easy way to search it, because you could run 3 of it, but then it would lower the consistency of the rest of the deck, so I decided to opt it out, because, well, Mudon can only search 1 card, and it's a once per turn search, so I'd much prefer to search the traps over, well, the Flurries. But Flurries is not a bad card, and if you want to play it, by all means, play it. But I'd say if you were to probably play this card, Konami needs to come out with a field spell that searches Rikka cards. Not monsters, not spells, Rikka cards. So then you could, you know, make the consistency of the deck better. But Konami's not going to do that anytime soon, so, well, I just opted it out because, well, no easy way to get it on the field. Then you got Evil Thorn, one of the best plant monsters in the game besides Lone Fire Blossom. It's an easy summon it, tribute it, pop out 2, deal an easy 300. I only didn't want to play it because, well, it's not bad, and usually if you have Evil Thorn and Primula in hand, it's an easy summon, tributes, get Primula, then you have easy 3 cards on field, which can, fucking hell, 2 level 1s and 1 level 4, then you can start tossing in level 1 rank craziness. But I opted it out because usually when I had it, it kind of bricked me, because when I had it, either I had Evil Thorn and Galona in my hand, or Evil Thorn and Petal, and obviously I much prefer to summon the Petal over the Thorn, so I opted it out. Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. What's not to say about this card? It's busted beyond belief. Makes your opponents cry every time you use it. And you can easily substitute it for a Dark Hole because it's essentially the same thing. You use it and it makes your opponent's field just die. Then we got Verte Anaconda. What's not to say about this hellish nightmare either? It makes Dragoon. And if you don't know what Dragoon is, well, just take a look at this card. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Neither player can target this with card effects, and during your main phase, you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the monster's original attack. That's half the effect. It's already fucking busted. And the rest of it's just negate. And if you do it, you get more attack points, and it's already sitting at a fat 3 fucking K. Then it goes to 4K, the next turn it can go to 5, 6, 7, 8, then you just fucking run over everything. There is ways throughout the card, such as Dingirsu, because it doesn't target, and it vanishes, so if you do end up running into this precarious opponent, make Dingirsu, it makes life easy, or you can make, well, you can't because it targets, but, wait, does this tribute count as a target? I mean, it counts as a card effect, so I don't think Teardrop can really do anything, but Dingirsu I know is an easy out to it. But yes, Verte Anaconda can make this egregious monster by obviously, you know, running the Red Eyes Fusion, Dark Magician, and, well, Red Eyes Black Dragon, which easily, if you wanted to run this engine, you could just substitute, you know, Har, Mardell, Boss Stage, and then to toss these 2 in here, I'd probably just remove High Arbiter and remove Almaros. I think that's how you say it. Either way, those are the 2 I would remove if you were to run Dragoon and Verte, because, well, those are the weakest Ixies in here most likely, usually. Well, I mean, they are the weakest Ixies in here. I would just toss those 2 out to just toss you 2 in, then obviously the 3 I said before, it's swap out the, essentially you're swapping out the generator engine for the Dragoon engine. But yes, that's my deck profile, and I do hope you enjoy it. Most likely not, because the deck's kind of cancerous, and I don't fault you for not playing it. Control is kind of fun. It's not really a combo variant, because I've seen everyone like, mine's a turn 2 combo. Well, guess what? This is a turn 1 control deck. Talk about originality, people. Well, I'll see ya, because my name, if it wasn't Sugoi, then I wouldn't be too happy, now would I? Well, now we got the pleasantries out of the way. Your boy Sugoi is out.